something, right? Good afternoon. It's Thursday, July 6th, and I wanted to take some time to let you know my story, very briefly. My entire life has been dealing with weight and other minor things, but the majority is weight and how it affects me. I haven't really had any work done in regarding going to the doctor. Growing up, we didn't really do doctors as much. So all I can remember is just being fat all my life and never having anything checked regarding hormones and this and that. Just knowing that besides not being sick, I would just gain weight. And, go and run, go and do this, go and do that. And I just didn't have the energy, didn't have the gumption to do those types of things. So that's my life growing up. And my life as an adult was, again, not being sick up until very recently. In 2015, beginning of that year, I noticed something in my tooth that was bothering me, and it actually chipped. But it wasn't a tooth chip. It was actually plaque falling off. Yes, I have never been to the dentist. Again, you learn these things after a long time. So 47 years at the time of not even being in the dentist. So going to the dentist, did a cleaning, and no cavities. So it was all good there. So that was the first real experience I've had with a doctor. I've had broken ankles and knee issues from running and things of that nature, but nothing major. I fell down one time. They thought I had a stroke or whatever, but I fell because I slipped on some ice. But it was not a big deal. But May of 2015 is when I started experiencing numbness in my hands, right here, and my wrists. And we had no idea what that was. The doctors were conflicting. You know how doctors can be. They conflicted. Well, it is your wrist. We need to do surgery. I'm going, wait a minute. Surgery, what's wrong? I want to know what the problem. Then you had the primary care physician, annular nerve. You had the emergency room technician saying stroke. And you had my neurologist said carpal tunnel with problems in your neck. So they were saying different things back and forth. So it was very interesting to have those discussions with these doctors that they weren't saying the same thing. They were saying different things. Take Prednisone. Oh, it doesn't work. Take something else. And it didn't work. At that point, I didn't know what to do. It flared up during the cold weather, and it was debilitating in the sense that it started to spread here, this hand on the side, here on the back of my arm, my neck, and then feeling like someone is touching my head and tingling. It was just very strange feeling. But some can say I was in denial about this whole situation, but what I did is I took myself out of the equation. I stopped picking up things that were heavy. I stopped using my wrists and my hands for hard tasks. I played the horn. I would carry my case. I would start to just wheel it around and stop putting something on my shoulder and stop walking further distances. So to try and avoid making the situation worse. Then last summer, basically we're going on a year now, a year ago, the same time period, I went to go eat and couldn't eat. The food fell out of my mouth. I couldn't do anything. And my tongue would not operate. And in turn, went to a meeting and started talking in that meeting and completely couldn't talk, couldn't speak. It was just all garbled. And I was saying, I made the comment of probably having a seizure. Went to the emergency room. They kept me for observation. And at that time, they found out I have myasthenia gravis. It's an autoimmune disease. Grave muscle weakness. And everything had been building up over time over this past year between 2015 and 2016, where things were getting tough to do. And in my mind, I attributed that to just being heavy and trying to lose weight, trying to do things, but it would not work. But in fact, it was the myasthenia wreaking its head in my life, and it made things very bad. So I started taking the Mestodon pyrostigmine, and in October of 2016, I made that choice to start doing more things to alleviate this, due to the fact that I started getting double vision and not feeling well at all. Spending the entire weekend in bed, getting up only to eat or go out and do something, but not really feel like I needed to do anything. I wanted to rest and relax. So at that time, I said, I have to take control of this. I needed to be my own advocate. Because you had my neurologist saying, yes, you have myasthenia, but you also have this brain issue, you have the neck issue, you have the carpal tunnel. We need to do surgery. And they want to do the thymus surgery, they want to do the annular nerve, they want to do the neck. So they want to do all these different types of procedures. My primary care wasn't to some agreement of the same thing based upon what the specialist had said. And I wanted answers. So I took upon myself with my friend to DeBarrow to contact another doctor regarding looking at alternatives. And LDN was an alternative to do to help with an autoimmune disease as this. So I started to do that and then set up my first appointment was going to be in March, but it had to be moved to May. So between October and November, December, all that of 2016 was a very bad time. And I said to myself, let's get control and start doing some things. So I did that. And I did all I could from my perspective, but the worst part was it wasn't getting any better. And in March, I actually talked to the doctors and told them, okay, here I'm taking this medication, I'm doing this. Here is what I'm doing, and here is the situation. I'm not getting any better. I'm not getting any worse. Every day it feels as though I was on a marathon running and I was out of steam every day. I would wake up tired, wake up frustrated. Like rowing in place. I'm not falling back, I'm not going forward, but I'm fighting every single day what my body and this disease is doing to me. At that time, I was considering what other alternatives aren't there. I was going to do the LDN, and this is back in March, of course, and I did start doing it in May. But I also was considering and did research in regarding to medical marijuana. And in fact, myasthenia gravis in Illinois is one of the very few diseases that is allowable for medical marijuana. It is that serious, along with MS and other very critical terminal diseases out there. And I had the diagnosis for it. So at the time, I was considering, and I did actually contact some dispensaries about what I can do regarding that. And then I actually got replies back, and I got some information. And then everything started to total up. Well, you can get the card for a year or 2 years. That's 100, 200, 250 for 3 years. Then you can go for 2 doctor's visits at $300 a pop. Then you can go, once you get all that, then you have to file all the paperwork, get fingerprinted, all this different things. And I have all the documentation that I went through that. I'm going, this is nuts. This is insane. So as I was in the throes of being out of work at the same time from the illness and everything that's going on, not knowing what to do, and then the fact that there is some hope, but it requires so much red tape. What can be done? Because I wanted some relief. And just a few short weeks later, the universe points you in the right direction. Dee started to get involved in the CBD oil business at the end of March. And at the time, I was still waiting to go see my doctor, because the other thing that I was leery of, it wasn't a stigma thing. At this point, I don't care. It was the fact that if I were to do the medical marijuana, and if I were to go in to be hired anywhere, they always do drug tests on me. So then that was the other reason why I held off doing that, wanting to go see the other specialists for the LDN and seeing what can be done. And in turn, I started the LDN and started doing my regimen. Not only doing cooking for myself, taking care of myself, losing weight. I'm down 20 pounds now since I started. We're in day 55 now of that process. Because I can eat the right foods, but I need the right chemical composition. I need to be in balance. And there is some imbalance there. Like I say, if all my years, there may be a hormone imbalance. I want to get that checked out, and we want to do something. So I want to make it now. I want to put myself in balance. And what I've been doing with my multivitamin, with my pyrostigmine, with the LDN, with the melatonin I've been taking, all those factors have been putting me at ease and putting my life in balance. And just right before the end of June, the idea of becoming a founder with this company, Prime My Body, to help out to get the best hemp oil out there, because I did the research myself. What can CBD oil do to put my life in balance, to make it better? And it can help with myasthenia. It can help with putting things in balance. And that's the best option that I'm going to take. I'm going to do that. I'm going to make my life and do everything I can. If you have a parent who has a child who has seizures, why wouldn't deny them to use Charlotte's Web or any other CBD product on them? They're doing it for the benefit and for the love of the child. And now that I'd actually bring it up, I actually have 3 conditions according to the doctors. The myasthenia is by far the major concern. The other one, of course, I mentioned is the carpal tunnel syndrome that they mentioned, the nerve issue. So they say that they are totally both not related, but I do have those conditions. So that is bad enough as it is. The last one that scared me, per se, goes back to 2010 when I had an MRI done and they did notice some issue. And then, like I had mentioned earlier in this video, that they may have been a stroke. In fact, it is a birth defect. And in fact, it is something that can cause seizures and epilepsy in people if left unchecked. So there is the possibility in the future I may have some issues. So with that knowledge, we are given so much knowledge now. We can look at our DNA and see what we have in our body. We can go to doctors and they can just analyze us and understand what the body can do. And instead of treating the symptoms, I'm going to take that information and treat the body and do what's right for my body. And that's what I'm going to do. Researching all I can do about CBD and hemp and how important it is and it affects the lives of people and what it can do and change their lives. This is what's important to me. I have seen the effect of how it can turn around someone's life and provide balance in their life. And this is why I have it here right now. I've received my founder's pack today, and I had my drug test done for this new job I'm starting on Monday. So in fact, I can start using this oil now officially. This is going to be day 1 of me using this oil. And I'm going to add this as part of my regimen because hemp oil as a dietary supplement to help you is key. So this is another unboxing of this aspect because again, we want to empower our lives. We understand, we research the articles and know what the sun can do for us. We go out and get some vitamin D that way. We can't be given a pill to do it. We know what water is good for and helps us. And then we know what hemp oil can do for us with the CBD and help us balance us out. And that's why I'm going to take it right now on camera, because that's the key. The key here is to understand, and I will let you know how it affects me and how it works, because I'm hoping and praying that not only this will change my life, but improve my life for the good and help everybody else out there. As I'm going to spread the word in regarding what this oil can do. And I've seen it. So let me go ahead and do this. Take this off. And then we can just do a this is a live taking. This is the oil. Right here. Okay. Here we go. Let's see how this works. Under the tongue, I'm going to hold it for 30 seconds. This is going to be live. So you're going to do 2 pumps, I think. Or I'll see what I can do. That's 2. Let's see what happens. I won't swallow it. It is very grapefruity. It's grapefruity. See how I'm talking now? This is not a side effect of it. This is with me talking like this. Again, I want to empower my life in what I want to do. That's why I'm doing this. And that's why I'm going to spread the word regarding it, because I've seen the results of what it can do and change lives. And I hope it can change your life too. Because no one should suffer. No one should go to a doctor and be told to be given a pharmaceutical drug that can have a litany of side effects that can cause issues and problems. Take something natural that's going to help and make your life better. So that's why I'm doing this, and that's why you should too. Have a wonderful evening. Take care, guys.